Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 62 of Confessions of a Market Maker. I'm your co-host, Ray, aka All Day Ray, aka Larry Zonka, and I'm joined here by my chivalrous co-host, former market maker of 20 years and current day retail trader. I am talking about a man who only dresses in a t-shirt and Armani jacket, the man who taught you how to think like a villain. JJ, how's it going, man?
Good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. And I'm excited for our guest today. He is the 33rd mayor of the city of Miami, a man who was elected with an 86% support from Miami residents, a man making national headlines for his hustle, for his pro-crypto, pro-finance, pro-tech stance, welcoming the industries into the city of Miami. Of course, I'm talking about Mayor Francis Suarez. Mayor, how's it going, man?
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much for that awesome intro. And it's exciting to be with you guys both.
Oh, man, appreciate it so much. Your father was a mayor of Miami, first elected in '85. Big shout out to him. You know, Mayor, you're getting well known for your pro crypto stance. What's Dad think about crypto?
You know, I actually haven't talked to him about it. You know, he's actually really excited about the whole tech push. I haven't actually talked to him about crypto per se, but he is really into data centers, and which obviously are a part of mining, which is a big part of creating a fluid crypto transaction base. So he's an engineer, a mechanical engineer by trade. Before he was a lawyer, before he was a politician. My grandfather was also the dean of the engineering school of Vienna University in Cuba. So we have and I'm a finance background. So we have a mathematical, analytical brain oriented family. So I actually should talk to him about it. I haven't actually picked his brain on it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I saw that you do have a bachelor's in finance. You're an attorney by profession. Did you at one point consider a career in finance?
I did. I actually interned with Morgan Stanley, and I actually also interned with Securities and Exchange Commission. I did an honors program with them when I was in law school. So I definitely did think about a career potentially in finance, and just ended up in law and have been really a real estate and corporate transactional lawyer for the better part of 15 years. Now, I spend a lot of my time obviously generating business for the firm that I'm at, and also, sitting on some boards as well of some companies.
Yeah, awesome. Did your study of finance have any influence on, your pro crypto, finance tech stance that you do have?
No doubt about it. I think both that and sort of the engineering mathematical background, because obviously you have to understand why algorithms and keys are important to encryption and to data privacy and to being able to have a transaction that can't be duplicated. So, I mean, understanding a lot of the mathematics behind cryptocurrencies was important to understand the fundamentals of it. And so for me, I think having a finance background, understanding also mega markets like currency fluctuations, inflation. Why would somebody be driven to a cryptocurrency as opposed to just keeping their assets in dollars? I think those are all a part of having a finance degree.
Yeah, for sure. It's so refreshing to hear this from, a politician, especially for people who've been immersed in this for a long time. Real exciting. You've requested the city manager research a vendor to facilitate BTC payments, as well as giving employees the options to be paid in BTC. This also includes the city treasury in BTC. I just applaud you just for the gumption. It's really kind of against the grain, I would feel like, for politicians. So, shout out to you for doing that. What are some of the hurdles that you guys need to overcome to make this a reality?
I think the biggest hurdle is just the concept of it's so new. You know what I mean? And understanding that there are people that are obviously, very prominent people that for whatever reason speak and say things that I think are somewhat inaccurate. But for example, having the Treasury Secretary Yellen say that big percentage of crypto transactions are illegal transactions or transactions of illegality is a completely false statement. I don't know why someone of her stature would say something like that. But it makes it harder for public policymakers to convince the general public that, hey, this is safe. This is not anything that you need to worry about. Money laundering and money in cash, in dollars, and illicit transactions in dollars far outpaces anything crypto has ever done by a big factor. And all you have to do is look up some former entrepreneurs in Colombia to understand in Mexico to understand that where they were putting money in drywall, cash in drywall. So I find the whole argument to be a little absurd. But look, those are the biggest difficulties, is trying to demystify some of this stuff for the general public, and understand why is it important for a city and for a mayor to push on this issue. Why is it important for me? The reason why is simple. It's because we want to be known as the most technologically forward city in America. Why? Because we understand a fundamental truth. It's not about whether I like it or dislike it. It's not about whether I'm a Republican or Democrat. It's not even partisan at all. Technology dominates our life and will continue to dominate our life going forward. And any city that doesn't get that simple fact and doesn't create an economy in the city that is based around that fact is going to go backwards. It's going to shrivel away. It's going to die. And it's sad because, anyone that doesn't get it is not understanding where our future lies. And so I understood that. I'm young, fairly young. I'm 43 years old for a mayor of a major city. I've been mayor for 3 years. I was elected at 40. Actually, my dad was elected at 36, which is interesting. A funny joke about that is I told my dad, yeah, but you look like you were 40. I look like I'm 36. So back in the day in the 80s, you would have the hair that covered the ears, and he looked like he was 60 when he was 36 years old.
Yeah.
But I can relate.
Fun stuff. But so listen, I just really believe that cities like ours, and all cities really should be doing this. They should all be. And by the way, I've gotten interest from the mayor of Detroit, from the mayor of Jacksonville, from a lot of mayors that are looking at what we're doing. And I think B, when you look at what the federal government is doing, and again, look, I was a proponent of the stimulus in the sense that I thought that if you're going to do something like this, cities should get their fair share. That was my sort of take on it, and we did. By the way, we ended up getting a tremendous amount of funding if we're gonna go down that route. But if you look at the broader public policy, if you're going to create $1.9 trillion of new money and put it in circulation, you are risking the very thing that you're trying to protect, which is the integrity of the U.S. dollar. You're risking, inflation. And where are people going to go with their money? They're going to get out of dollars because they're afraid that dollars are going to be worth less once that 40% new currency gets dumped into the market, and they're going to go into an asset that is not pegged to a central bank's attempt to manipulate. That's what they're going to do, and oftentimes it's been gold. Now it will more likely be crypto as it becomes more accepted, particularly in younger people. And I think what's interesting about crypto, which is different from gold, is it can, and I believe it will. Frankly, I frankly believe it will become a currency. I will. People talk about, oh, is it a currency or not? I think it will become an accepted currency. You're seeing more and more people accepting it for payment. Part of the problem is nobody wants to give up their Bitcoin. And that's kind of the problem with it being used as a currency. Is right now it's so valuable that people don't actually want to use it as a currency. They'd rather use something that's less valuable to purchase goods and stock up on what they consider to be an asset, right? That is increasing in value. So part of the reason why it's not a currency is because, frankly, it just keeps increasing in value.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. Like I said before, so refreshing. And I think people like yourself, people like Elon Musk, people like, we had Mark Cuban on yesterday, people who are accepting Bitcoin or, crypto as transaction are bringing it to the forefront. Like that's part of the adoption of it, is having people like yourselves embracing it, seeing someone like Andrew Yang, who seems to be taking a similar platform, as well as yourself, which I believe is a strategically smart one from you guys. You guys are future, like you guys are seeing into the future. Shout out to you guys. That's amazing. You met with some of Elon Musk's people about building a tunnel underground for means of transportation with electric vehicles. The electric vehicle sector is a hot and frequently talked about sector in finance and trading. Do you see electric vehicles continuing to gain more market share and prevalence in society?
Absolutely. And as the technology gets better and gets less expensive, I think they're going to dominate the market. I think in my lifetime, you will see the extinction of the gas-powered car, and you will see essentially every single car will be electric. It just makes too much sense. The cost of maintenance is radically lower. I think I remember reading an article once that said that an internal combustion engine has 2,300 moving parts, and a Tesla had 15. So it's a lot easier to swap out one
Yeah.
of 15 parts than a broken part out of 2,300. So the maintenance is significantly less. You have the cost per mile of fuel, whether it's gas or electricity, is significantly less. When you throw in there a solar, which will inevitably be in greater adoption going forward, it even makes it even less. I mean, it's so yeah. I think in my lifetime, my guess is in the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to see every single vehicle on the road be an electric vehicle.
Yeah, for sure. You've done an incredible job hustling on Twitter, just the social media platform, the acceptance. I
Every
saw.
day I'm hustling, hustling,
Yeah.
hustling.
That's
No, man.
wonderful.
Honestly, it's great to see. I saw the video. It was funny. A woman was like, it's a joke now. Like, oh, I was talking to the Miami mayor, like DMing, stuff like that. It's awesome to see.
Good way to end the rant. I love it.
Yeah. Perfect, perfect. In your mind, why? Obviously, your pro stance is what's the draw for like the tech and the finance community. But why else do you think that like they've been receptive to you, to Miami, as opposed to other cities?
I think it's a few reasons, right? One is, look, there's a lot of macro factors that conspire in our favor, right? You have the SALT deduction going away. So people can't deduct income taxes. That makes what we're, kind of our competitors, San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, less competitive, because now, in addition to the higher cost of living, people got to pay an extra 10, 13% in taxes. So that's like a straw that breaks the camel's back. Then you have COVID. In COVID, you had two phenomena. One was the remote work. So people they could stay in their job. They could be at Google or whatever big company they were, and they could work wherever they wanted to physically. A lot of people came to Miami and were like, look, Miami's open. You can do stuff. You can go to restaurants. And so people flooded to Miami. And without risking losing their job. And what happened is when they got here, and this is where it's different than it ever has been in the history of Miami. When they got here to Miami, they were like, whoa, this place is different. It's different than what we thought it was. It's different than when the last time we came. Number one, it's the city has just changed. It's a much bigger, much more vibrant, much more culture, much more, activities, better restaurants. I mean, it's just a totally different city. And number two, the collisions, one of the things that made Silicon Valley so successful was, the collisions. You would go to a coffee shop and run into a founder, and he's good. I was at an event last night where somebody was wearing one of my "How Can I Help" t-shirts. This is a true story. This really happened. This is unbelievable. So I don't know if you know about the "How Can I Help" campaign and the whole thing. So he was wearing one of my How Can I Help t-shirts. He said, this is a true story. He said he was walking in the street. Some guy stopped him and said, "Hey, are you in tech?" And he said, "Yeah." They started talking. The guy ended up being a funder for his company. He said he bought 10 t-shirts because he wants to wear. He said, "I don't even wear t-shirts underneath the suits because I want to wear it every single day. I'm going to wear the shirt." So I bought 10 t-shirts so I can wear a fresh shirt every single day, because it's a signal to the public that I'm in tech and that I'm open for business. And you couldn't believe it. I have another friend who had an app who asked me to retweet his app, and I'm thinking, okay, whatever, retweet is my friend. Why wouldn't I do that? Whatever. I retweeted his app. 4 VCs called him. 4 VCs called him. So we have created this density of talent and this density of capital that is now rivaling some of the bigger cities. And I think that is creating a what I call the FlyMo effect. It's called the flywheel plus FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
It's like this double effect of people saying, "Wait a second, I need to be in Miami. This is the place to be." Once you get here and you realize, man, I can do everything here that I could do anywhere else. Plus, I don't have to pay the taxes. Plus, the weather's beautiful and all that stuff. Why would I go back?
Right. No, it's exciting. While I don't live, right in Miami, just being a South Florida resident, it's exciting. Like the movement that you're spearheading, you could just sense it in the air. Last question, Mayor, because I know we got to get you going on. There was a billboard in San Francisco with a picture of your Twitter account with the tweet, thinking about moving to Miami, DM me. I don't know if you were behind this or not. It was funny. It was, it's a nice move, man. In another man's city. That's a bold move.
Actually, another woman's city.
Oh, another woman's. Okay, let me clarify.
That's a whole other issue.
Yeah.
It's a little guerrilla marketing. Never heard anybody. Little guerrilla marketing.
Exactly.
I was definitely involved in the content creation and approval of the sign. It was actually paid for by someone else. So there's no city funds, so nobody can complain. But it was really cool. And I think again, it's like that video that you were talking about. It generated a viral buzz.
Yeah.
And that's what we're about. We're about keeping this, think about what we've done. Think about this just for a second. Give me 1 second, which is we live in a 24-hour news cycle, right? Everybody 2 days ago was talking about the Royals interview, right? It is really hard to keep the world's attention. We have managed to keep the world's attention on this issue since December 4th. That is December 4th to January 4th, January 4th to February 4th, February 4th to March 4th. That's 3 months where we have sustained this attention of the world. That is unbelievable, unprecedented. And we're going to do everything we can to keep that attention, to maintain the volume level up, because to change the reputation of a city from a sun and fun retirement place to a serious place that has an enormous footprint in the knowledge-based economy, it's like moving a cruise ship, right? And we're moving the cruise ship as fast as we can with those tugboats to turn it in a different direction and convert this Miami moment into a Miami movement.
Absolutely. As a as a trader, Mayor Suarez, I'm trained to think strategically. I think you're just like political strategy is just on point. What you're doing. So salute to you, JJ. You got some words for the mayor as we sign off.
Yeah, no, I just, I've been thinking about I did a lot of business in Boca in the 90s, and I just it's always been one of those places, and I just I'm in Canada. It's -50 here in the wintertime, so I'm always thinking about Miami. And after that, I was like, man, I want to move to Miami. It's like, you know,
Come on over.
you got room for a Canadian to weasel down with his girlfriend.
I don't know if you ever saw the show Price is Right. Come on down. You're the next contestant on the Price is Right. Come on down.
Oh man, I even have this house in Coconut Grove in my head. It's just,
man, that's where I live. I'm right here in my house in Coconut Grove right now.
Oh, those houses with the vines. I mean, I'm looking out. It's snowing, and everything's just. Then I just look at that picture, and I just tell my girlfriend.
I'm going to tell you a quick last story before I leave. With all of the stuff that you hear, yesterday I got a call from a guy from a hedge fund that's coming into Miami, $20 billion assets under management, buying a $50 million house on the water 2 blocks from my house. Incredible. So I'm getting those text messages every day, guys, every single day. It's incredible.
Well, the other thing is, I used to live in Vancouver for 27 years. What you pay for a tiny little house in Vancouver, you can get a beautiful home in Miami.
That's the thing. The cost of living differential.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, awesome, guys.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. That's going to conclude today's episode of Confessions of a Market Maker. If you enjoyed the podcast, please rate and review it for us. If you'd like to trade alongside JJ, myself, and a supportive community of traders, join us at microefutures.com. Mayor, you can tell the people where to find you, how to support, and anything else you'd like them to know.
So look me up on Instagram, which is @Mayor of Miami. Look me up on Twitter. It's @Francis Suarez. Those are my handles. And I think I have a mayoral Twitter too, @Miami Mayor. So check out all that. We've got, I have LinkedIn as well. So check me out on all those platforms. And that's the best way to keep up with what I'm doing. Hustling.
Awesome. Hustling. Mayor, keep it up, man. And whatever you need, full support from us. Much love. So
appreciate it. Likewise.
All right. So for Mayor Francis Suarez, I'm Paulie Walnuts. He's the Gorilla of House Street. You stop so.